the National Football League, presented by EA Sports. Tonight we continue with Wild Card Weekend with what should be a great one between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Rams. Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. To the right side, this is Walker. To the 43, second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Sticking with Walker on second down. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6. On third down, here's Walker. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. It's a pickup of 6.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one. Here we go.
Walker now in first and 10. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it second and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9. Lawrence will throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And now off to the races down the right side. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown.
So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Sometimes it can hurt you, but right there, it pay off.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4.
First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Play action. It's Lawrence.
And the Rams got him. They bring him down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
4th down. Corliss Waitman now on to punt.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10.
Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10
at their own 23.
They'll begin on the ground with Akers.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Oftentimes, when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
Stafford's throw taken in by Watkins here.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again, so he's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fielded at about the 28. 55-yard punt, 11 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10.
Now Here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. On 2nd and 12, Stafford looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted.
Derek Stingley picks it, and the Eagles will take over possession here up at the 44.
Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
And he's across the 45. It'll be 2nd down.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Second and 8. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up on 2 yards on the second down carry.
That's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going.
On 3rd down, Lawrence.
Throws right side, and that's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards.
Off the play fake, here's Lawrence.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
On 2nd down, it's Walker.
And they'll get him down right about the 20. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Eagles on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
And Walker once more.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Kenneth Walker
taking it in from the 20.
And the Eagles are an extra point away from evening this one up.
Elliott good with a PAT, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown, so 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. With the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he's going to have a Rams first down as he gets this up past the 30.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
On 1st and 10, Stafford.
They'll set up the screen here to Akers.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's second down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Throwing again on second down. Stafford.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
22!
Stafford now to throw.
And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken at about the 14. And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Back to Walker on 1st down.
Room here to run. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was, and if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
He will return this from deep in the end zone.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7 as they come up 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
2nd down, they'll go with Akers again.
And he's able to get up here to the 26. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Going right back to Akers.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a 1st down for L.A. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers. He'll get this up to about the 44.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
From the 44, Stafford, rush coming, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, he's got Watkins.
And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And incomplete on the deep ball.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing again at Stafford. Again, that's Watkins. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Now Stafford. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the Eagles are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want, and other times, the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. Swings this in for Hunt. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of approach, though.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they move the ball with relative ease.
The kick by Elliott is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. 57 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
First down. First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
He's taken down at the 33-yard line. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
After the run, now Stafford going to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete.
And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
On the counter, this is Akers.
And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave it with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
In order to play a really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for L.A. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Here's Walker to start the drive.
And some space here. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Always important to get the first score in the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone.
So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers quickly.
From the gun, it's Walker.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown.
Ken Walker
taking it in from 14 yards out.
And the Eagles continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 20. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard.
at their own 12-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Stafford for the 3rd time is intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Anthony Schwartz from 8 yards out. And the Eagles get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Rams 7. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Touchdown. Here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a mistake, a surprising mistake there in the kicking game as he sends that one out of bounds. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. He starts with a give to Akers. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. They find some open field here. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. He's definitely difficult to account for out of the backfield, and he makes something happen there with the ball in his hands. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, they certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Caleb Farley. And the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays. Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Lawrence's throw taken in by Ridley here. And he's out right at the 25. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Now Lawrence on 3rd and long. Fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
It's taken to the 26. 54-yard punt, 14-yard return, nets him 40. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
We'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. 1 quarter remains in this NFC Wild Card matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's a run with Akers on 2nd down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this is caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. A great play there. 56 yards. And the Rams get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And leads down to 24. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
The Eagles send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Off of play action, here's Stafford. He's going to air one out. And my goodness, another interception. Derek Stingley picks it. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent.
And this is caught inside the 5. A big play there for Philly. 59 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
On 3rd and goal, Lawrence.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Rams are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
What a stand there defensively. They force the 3rd and goal, force them into what they think will be a passing situation, and then they make sure to lock up all the receivers and come away with the interception. Sounds simple, but that was really well done.
Steps away. Now he'll throw deep left side. And now here's another interception.
Picked up by Caleb Farley. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated.
It's caught at the 10. A big play there for Philly. And even 60 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation.
Now Lawrence.
Eluding the pressure right. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Trevor Lawrence.
A 10-yard touchdown run.
And the Eagles start to open this lead even wider here in the 4th.
Elliott good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. Caleb Farley there on the tackle.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And my goodness, another interception.
Derek Stingley picks it, and the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. But they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. They help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
There's enough, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, we've talked about it before. You know, this jet sweep, something a lot of teams like to run nowadays, and this one winds up in the end zone.
And it is all about creating different ways to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. And Wasn't it interesting that prior to this game, the head coach told us, I saw this sitting in my chair watching a Tuesday night college game and decided to implement it myself.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Now Stafford. And now here is another interception. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
It certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal. That one looks like he'll throw here. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on and get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Stafford on first down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second.
A truly all-around great effort against the pass today. First an interception, now getting to the quarterback for the first time in this contest. I think offensively, they just forgot to prepare for him or simply overlooked him in getting ready for this one. Either way, a big mistake, and he's making them pay for it.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Stafford. And my goodness, another interception.
Derek Stingley picks it, and the Eagles will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. And the Eagles season will continue at least one more week. Thanks for watching, and so long, everybody.